Violent attacks against ICE agents reaching dangerous heights this year. The latest attempt happening in Maryland this Christmas Eve.
The ICE agents were conducting a detail. They approached a white van. That van attempted to run agents over. Then ICE agents fired at that vehicle. That vehicle accelerated, coming to rest behind me in a wooded area behind these homes.
That incident prompted the agents to fire their weapons in self-defense. DHS says the driver and the passenger of the van are both in the country illegally. The driver, who is from Portugal, had overstayed a visa that expired back in 2009. Let's bring in Deputy ICE Director Madison Sheahan. Madison, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. I want to put on the screen for our audience the number of vehicular attacks against federal agents. The numbers are eye-popping. Up 58% against Customs and Border Protection agents. Against ICE agents, up 1,300%. Staggering numbers there on your screen. So what's your reaction to those numbers and any update on the incident in Maryland?
Look, we've seen an increase in threats against our ICE officers. These are historic numbers that we've seen of people wanting to make threats against our officers and our officers being in situations where people are using vehicles and weapons to attack them. You know, ICE officers go out every single day and enforce immigration law as it's written. We're going out and doing our jobs. And when people interfere with that and cause harm to federal officers, that's a real problem for our officers. And it not only puts our officers in a horrible situation and put them at risk, but it also puts the aliens at risk when we're going out to conduct law enforcement efforts.
The driver from Portugal had overstayed a visa since 2009, 16 years. Does that surprise you?
No, it does not. What we've seen is that the Biden administration for years did not enforce the law. President Trump and Secretary Noem have allowed us to go out and do our jobs. And as we continue to issue final orders of removal, we also know that we have about 1.5 million people on final orders of removal that need to leave this country. And they can use the CBP Home app to do so, or they can be encountered by ICE and be arrested by ICE officers. We are going to enforce the law. We're going to go after the worst of the worst as well. We're going to go arrest gang members, murderers, and rapists. And that's what our officers do every day. They keep the American people safer every day that they're out on the streets.
A coalition of migrant truckers is suing the California DMV, saying the upcoming revocation of commercial driver's licenses threatens their livelihood and will upend the economy. From the lawsuit, quote, the sudden loss of their ability to work threatens not only their livelihoods, but also the stability of our supply chains and services on which the public depends. What's your reaction to that?
Well, look, the bottom line is that these aliens should have never received a commercial driver's license in the first place. You've heard Secretary Duffy and Secretary Noem go out and tell these stories of one too many people that have been killed from alien crime, especially when these people are driving these massive trucks down the highways and wreaking havoc on the American people. These are jobs that Americans have worked very hard to have for years. And states like California have neglected that and given these driver's license to people who should have never received them in the first place, who never had the training and can't speak English or read our signs on our roads, creating a very dangerous situation for your family and mine.
The California DMV says it doesn't comment on pending legislation. Litigation. How do you expect this to play out?
Well, look, we don't comment on ongoing litigation either, but what I can say is that we need to make sure we're enforcing law. We need to make sure people that are trained to drive these trucks are out on the road doing so, and people that are not trained to do this are not on the roads. It's a pretty simple concept for us to be able to go out and enforce the law, and President Trump and Secretary Noem have allowed the men and women of ICE to do that, and we'll continue to do that and go into major cities and work with state and locals to go after these drivers who shouldn't be on the road in the first place, many of whom have convictions outside of them driving these CDL trucks. We've arrested known terrorists who are moving goods throughout the country. We've arrested people with other crimes as well, and we'll continue to go after those people as well.
And a number of these folks have been involved in deadly crashes. One would think that might have an impact as well.
Absolutely does. We've seen this in states like Florida, and Governor DeSantis has stepped up. We've seen this in Oklahoma, and Governor Stitt has stepped up. Governor Braun in Indiana. We have these fantastic partnerships nationwide to allow us to enforce the law on the major highways in partnership with Secretary Duffy's team. And Secretary Noem has gone out and really taken the forefront of this issue to make sure that the people who are out on our roads are driving legally and with the proper licensing as well.
Deputy ICE Director Madison Sheahan, thanks very much for being here.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.